So I told you at the beginning of this that I was going to teach you how to rob a bank, and that's what I'm going to do. How could something like this happen to Sign Designs? Well, I'll tell you what. I'm the hacker, and I am in Ukraine, and I want to hack the Bank of Stockton through a computer in Modesto. In order to accomplish this, I need three specific things. First, I need some very special software, something that specializes in credential theft or online banking hacking. Here's something. Zeus, crimeware for sale. Zeus is what's known as a Trojan kit. When you execute the software Zeus, it creates a new, unique malware instance, something the antivirus companies have never seen before. I can purchase Zeus on the black market for about $700. By the black market, I mean the internet. Zeus has been around for a very long time stealing credentials. There are more than 70,000 known variants of Zeus. Known variants of Zeus. Now, you may have heard of a EULA, End User License Agreement. Anytime you install a legitimate piece of software, Adobe Acrobat Reader, Microsoft Word, there's a long thing of legal text that you're supposed to read through and click on I agree. I don't know how many people actually read through these things. Even Zeus comes with a EULA written in Russian, translated down below here. And it's the very bottom red box here that I find the most interesting. In cases of violations of the agreement and being detected, the client will lose all technical support, and their bot will be reported to antivirus companies. It's crazy. Now, what does this mean? Big business. The organization that created this crimeware is selling it. Manuals, technical support, training videos, the whole spiel, teaching them how to use the software. This isn't kids hacking, it's big business. Here's another package, URL Zone, very professional, specializing just in online banking hacking. Now, when you install antivirus software on a computer, it goes out on an hourly basis and it downloads updates so that it can be the best software it can be. That technique works so well for the antivirus companies, why not have the crimeware do the same thing? Go out on an hourly basis and download updates so that it can be the best crimeware that it can be. When you initiate an online banking transaction, you'll see a little lock if you're using Internet Explorer, telling you that it's a secure session, an encrypted session between you and the bank. URL Zone is watching for encrypted traffic, and if it finds the traffic and it sees that it is going to the bank in question, it begins recording everything that's happening, every keyboard stroke, all the mouse movements, all of the monitor screen settings, and sends them real time to Hacker Central. Now here's what I'd like you to picture. I'd like you to picture a room with desks lined all around the corners with computer stations at regular intervals with computer guys. Somebody in New York begins an online banking transaction, and in Ukraine a hacker in the corner says, "I got a live one," and he is watching everything that's happening real time. Now, URL Zone is capable of what's called data injection. I started a financial transaction to transfer $500 to this account. And URL Zone can step in and change that $500 to $5,000 and change the account location. The bank receives the transaction and everything looks kosher. They transfer the funds. The user gets back exactly what they expected, $500 to the correct location, and no one's the wiser until somebody checks bank balances after the fact. That is a modern-day bank robbery. No guns, no hiding from cameras, no fast cars for the escape. It's all done electronically. Now, I told you that I need three things to pull off this attack. We have the software specializing in online bank hacking, but recognize that this will only be effective if it is installed on the computer that is doing online banking. I may need to install my evil software on 100,000 computers before I find the one that is doing the online banking that I need. So my next hurdle as a hacker is that I need a methodology for mass distributing this software to a whole bunch of people without them even realizing that it's happening. I need a crimeware toolkit. Here's one, Luckysploit. Again, a software program that has been out for a very long time and is very mature. The first thing you need to understand about Luckysploit is that it's looking for missing software patches. Anytime a legitimate software company releases a software program, again, Adobe Acrobat Reader, Microsoft Word, Apple iTunes, as soon as that software hits the market, there are entire communities of people looking for vulnerabilities in that software. If the good guys find a vulnerability, they'll report it back to the manufacturer, whose programmers will go, woo, and immediately begin coding a software patch, a fix to fix the vulnerability. If the bad guys find the vulnerability first, their programmers, woohoo, they're very excited and they begin immediately coding an exploit for their vulnerability to take advantage of the hole in the software. Now with Luckysploit, I can arm a web page on the internet. Any computer that touches that web page begins getting asked questions. Do you have this patch installed? This patch, this patch, this patch? Very, very quickly. And if Luckysploit finds that you are missing one of these critical software patches, that you have not patched the vulnerability, it includes the coding to be able to exploit the vulnerability. When it exploits the vulnerability, it delivers its payload. URL zone, Zeus. That is how the software gets installed. You didn't have to click on anything. You simply had to touch a web page with an unpatched computer. So now we have the evil software and we have a way to mass distribute the software. My next hurdle as a hacker, how do I get a whole lot of people to touch my web page? The web page armed with a crimeware toolkit that will scan for vulnerabilities so that it can deliver its payload. Now as a computer specialist, I can think of a list of methods as long as my arm for accomplishing this, for tricking you to get to that web page. I'm going to pick a really, really common, well-known one. Spam. Here's a piece of spam. The UPS has seized your postal package. Oh no! There are no hyperlinks in this email, just an attachment. If I open this attachment, I have no doubt that it is maliciously crafted to try and exploit something in Microsoft Word to cause Microsoft Word to do something it's not supposed to. And if I do open the package, the Word document, I have no doubt that it is a fabulous piece of what is called social engineering. Social engineering is me as the bad guy tricking you into doing something wherein if you really knew what was going on, there is no way you would do it. But I'm trying to trick you into doing something inappropriate out of a sense of responsibility or a sense of fear, such as making sure that the U.S. postal package gets taken care of. Here's another piece of spam. This one, very legitimate looking. It looks as if it was sent by Intuit, a very well-known manufacturer. They distribute Quicken and QuickBooks, very common accounting applications. And it says right there in the first paragraph, you need to install a digital certificate or you will lose access to your software. Gives the reasons why, and down at the bottom are a couple of hyperlinks. These are links wherein if you click on the link, it will take you to a web page, probably armed with a crimeware toolkit that's going to scan for vulnerabilities so that it can deliver its payload, the malware. So here we have an entire attack profile, a piece of spam trying to trick people through social engineering to get to a web page on the public internet, armed with a crimeware toolkit, which will scan for vulnerabilities looking for missing patches so that it can deliver its payload, the evil malware. This is why malware is so rampant. Now mainly I've been discussing online banking hacking, but that is not the point of this discussion. Malware is what this is all about. Malware is a software program that can do anything the programmer can envision. Online banking hacking is one potential option, but so is spam distribution, data harvesting. Data harvesting is a big one. Most people using computers understand screensavers. If I walk away from my computer for so many minutes, it will know there's no human being, and the screen will change. Imagine for a minute a piece of software installed on your computer that has been written to perform the same way. If I walk away from my computer for 5 minutes, it will know there's no human being present. And the screen doesn't change, but the hard disk light on the computer goes crazy because it has begun scanning from the beginning of the hard drive all the way through every single file on your computer looking for anything in a credit card number format, an email format, a social security number format, and it will collect all of the data and encrypt it and send it off to Hacker Central. Data harvesting. Hopefully after watching this, you recognize the risks associated to employees using business assets for internet use. Risks to the business. I invite you to watch a series of other videos that will talk about how you as an organization can protect yourself, how you as an individual can protect yourself, and substantially minimize the risk associated to internet-based malware. Thanks for watching.